The daily energy routine includes the 3 thumps, which are K27, thymus and spleen points, the cross crawl, the Wayne Cook posture, the crown pull, the neurolymphatic flush, and the zip up. This is called the 3 thumps. So I'm going to just pick people, okay, who I think might need it. You. Tell me your name again. Ingrid. Okay, Ingrid. I'm going to energy test you in the same way, okay? And I want you to push your arm down. I'm going to push it up, and you hold. All right, she's pretty strong. She's not greatly strong, but pretty strong. Now what I want you to do is just walk to me, okay? And now put your arm up and push up with all your might. Oh. The reason why she lost energy when she walked just forward to me was because her meridians are running backwards. What that's about is when you're having to handle too many things in your life, too many duties, too many things at odds, too many stresses, maybe your body really wants to relax and let go, and you cannot, and you keep forward in your normal manner, well, your meridians in your body's wisdom start going backwards. And that's to give you the message to take a vacation, take a rest, get out of stress. But most of us can't just do that. And we just have to keep going. And then eventually you get really tired, really exhausted, or you might even get sick, okay, after a time. So that's what's wonderful about these points right here. Now you can find them yourselves, okay? Where they are is if you find your clavicle, your collarbone, come to the corner there and drop into a hole. Most people have a hole. Don't worry about it if you can't find one. It's like a dip. But if you don't have a dip, some people are flat. It's like about 3/4 of an inch down from that bone, and it's slightly out to the side. And it's called, you're down a little bit lower than you need to be. It's right there.
Ooh, yeah.
And it tends to hurt if you need it, okay?
Why do I need that?
Yeah. Okay, now you can either massage these points or you can thump them. And a lot of people find that they can't massage themselves and get as much pain as I can give to them. And that's not because I'm actually pushing harder. It's because, like, you can't tickle yourself. You can't hurt yourself either, as much as somebody else can. So, but if you thump them, you're going to get them. And these points are called K27. They're the 27th point on kidney meridian. Now, all right, so I want you to thump them for a minute. Yeah, and this is how I want you to thump them.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay, and breathe when you do it. And what these points do, they're junction points for all the meridians in the body. And so every meridian is influenced by tapping these points, which means they will flip the meridians around and go in a forward direction, in a forward manner. So that if your meridians have been running backwards, tapping these points will turn them around so they're going forward and you're not out of sync with your energy anymore. Then you have less chance of getting sick, less chance of exhausting yourself and wiping yourself out. Now let's see if you can walk. Just walk around and come back to me. Okay. Now, very good. All right. So when you're starting to feel tired, if you're starting to feel exhausted, feeling like you're out of sync with yourself or with the world, tap, thump, K27. If you're driving on a freeway late at night and you're starting to fall asleep, take one hand off the steering wheel and thump K27. Nobody will have to tell you that these work. You'll feel energy go up into your eyes and your eyes wake up a little bit. These are excellent points for kids in school because when you're trying to learn something, children sitting at their desks trying to learn something from the teacher at the blackboard, there is often a disconnect between the time they look up to the blackboard and the time they look down to their papers, and a literal disconnect in their energies. And if they thump K27, it makes the energies go between their brain and their eyes, and it doesn't lose that force when they look up to a blackboard and down to their paper. So it's a great thing for children to do, or anybody to do in a classroom. Likewise, if you're reading a book and you feel like you don't remember what you read on that last paragraph, that's a definite sign that you need to thump K27. Okay? All right. Let me just... La 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 la. Let's see. You want to come? Okay. Now the second thump, these are 3 thumps you're getting, K27. The second thump is right here. Okay, there's a technique called therapy localizing, that if you want to just find out if a place on the body needs some more energy to go through it, you can simply just touch it. And this is a good one to test. So you hold your arm strong, and I'm going to just push down. He's got some strength, but not enough. You know, I shouldn't be able to push his arm down. And all that means is, this is the thymus gland, where the thymus gland sits. And the thymus gland is really important in your immune system. And everything that stands on 2 legs, except for humans, thump their thymus. See, I don't have a microphone here. You know how, except Tarzan. Tarzan does, and the apes do, and the monkeys do, and the gorillas do before they swing on these vines. And what it does is it gives you vitality and aliveness, and you are less susceptible, again, to the stresses that come your way. You can handle things better. And this is also a very important one to thump when you're under a lot of stress. So I want you to thump your thymus. Good. Right, that's good. Now, that wasn't very long, but okay, that was just 4 thumps on him, brought that energy up. Years ago, they used to, just up till about 10 or 15 years ago, even in medical journals, they would say that it was no longer an important gland after you were 12, that it begins to atrophy. Because if they happened to be operating in that part of the body, it looked like it was not doing anything. But that's because it put all of its energy out to save your life. And they found that, and so they would often take it out, the thymus gland, thinking it was not of value. But they found out that people did not heal when they did this. And so more and more they're finding that still, even though it doesn't grow past about 12 years old, it still works extremely hard in your immune system and is very important. And if you notice what people do who are stressed, I mean, if you start watching people, you'll start seeing things. And you see, old ladies often do this when they're stressed, and you'll see an awful lot of. I tend to go, when I'm surprised by something, and there is something automatic that we do in a lot of the things that I'm teaching. You'll start noticing yourself. Gee, I do that one. All right, great. Thump your thymus. Okay. The last one. You want to come up? I'm sometimes picking someone who I think might need something, okay? This is my primo first aid for myself. We all find one that really, really works for us. And this one is, and it's an individual thing, because for some people it really, really works, and for other people, they say, well, yeah, it really helps, but it's not as much. So it tends to be individual, but for everybody it helps to a certain extent, okay? Now, I'm going to test you. I'm going to test you in a different way, and I will show how to I will show how to do this energy test later. But for right now, I'm going to just do this. Hold your arm next to your body. I'm going to pull your arm straight out, and don't let me pull, okay? Hold with all your might. Nice and weak. See? And That tests a meridian called spleen meridian. And that one deals with how you metabolize different things coming your way, whether it be food or pollutants or whatever. Now this may simply be tonight, because I'm not at all naming you that you're not able to do this. But tonight, this meridian happens to be weak, okay? So hold again with all your might, and one finger. Okay, I'm going to do one finger. Nice and weak. All right. Right here. Let's see. If you, okay, come to where your bra ends, fellas, and drop one rib. Okay? And you'll find, for most of us, there's a little indent. You see where I am right there? That's the points. And you're a little bit further out, I think. Let's see. That's right. Right there. Is there some tenderness there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. All right. Now, just tap and breathe. Breathe deeply and tap. These are first aid kits. First aid points that have, well, they feel like a first aid kit for me because they have helped me when I've come close to fainting, when I've felt like, whoa, the energy was really hitting me, or I just felt like I was losing my balance. I've stood in front of classes with lots and lots of people and just started hitting, and suddenly I'd balance out. And whatever was going on would just balance out. I've had other people say that it has stopped. I've even had a couple of people tell me it stopped seizures for them. I've had people say when they just felt like they were starting to get the flu, if they tapped real hard, it tended to leave. And so it's, all right, so let's see if we can, now hold your arm real strong. You could get a little stronger. You're pretty strong, but I'm going to tap you some more. Just to make sure, so you know how to do it. Okay, hold. Now, it's interesting. Okay, you're pretty good. Okay, thank you. Okay, so those are the 3 thumps. And one more time, it's thumping here. Okay, all of you do this. Thump here, and then thump here. And I would stay longer on each of the points. I'm just showing you where they are. All right. The energy from your right hemisphere is meant to cross over to the left side of your body, and from the left hemisphere over to your right side of the body. And when that happens, it creates a crossover energy literally all over your body. It's like many, many crosses is what I see, okay? And when you don't see those kinds of crosses, the person isn't functioning optimally, okay? And if your energies aren't crossing over, maybe you can't think as clearly, or you're just feeling sort of lethargic and you're not hearing, you're not taking in what a person is saying. So let me see, did anybody bring is that your purse? Okay, I'm going to show you something. Would you come up with your purse? I know I'm using you again, but I want to show you some of the things that can throw your body off so that your energies are not crossing over anymore, okay? So I'm going to put your purse down, and all right, she's nice and strong now. Now I just want you to put your shoulder bag on and just walk a few steps. Okay, that's enough. Now take your shoulder bag off, and I'll show you what happens to a person's energy. A shoulder bag cuts through the main meridian lines in the body. And also, you can't cross your arms in a cross-crawl fashion. So cross-crawl gets obliterated in a lot of people's lives. And have you ever gone to the gym or done an exercise program, and at the end of the exercise program, when you should have felt fabulous and you didn't? Has that ever happened for anybody? Yes? Well, what that's about is, if that's ever happened to you, it's because some of those exercises throw your body out of a cross crawl and more into energy just going straight up and down your body. So now what I want you to do, if you think that has happened to you, nobody needs to test you. You begin to feel not centered, not balanced. You don't feel great after exercising. Something like that's going on. Or you're not able to grasp some information in a classroom or any of those things. So do a cross crawl. You guys ought to do it sitting down in your, your chair. Yeah, just hit the opposite knee. And I like how she's doing it with her elbows is a really good way, because it creates more of a crossover and is really good. All right, let's see if you're fixed. All right, now, let me do that again. Okay. So if you're going to use a shoulder bag, when you get to your destination, do a cross crawl so that you don't wear yourself down as the day goes on, okay? Just to give an example of an exercise program, why don't you come up here? What's your name?
Armis.
Armis, oh, great name. It's not short for Armistat, is it?
No, I made it up when I was a kid.
Oh, it's great. Okay. Hold your arm real strong and don't let me push down. All right, he's really strong. All right, now I want you to do a few jumping jacks. Don't go off the end. Okay, that's good. Okay. And now put your arm up. Jumping jacks wipe you out. I mean, suddenly your energies are no longer crossing over. They're just going straight up and down the body. Did you hold with all your might?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, he lost so much energy. I was even just checking. but that's exactly what happens. What I would say is don't bet on the team who's doing the jumping jacks because suddenly they are not as clear. They cannot possibly be as coordinated as the team who doesn't do the jumping jacks. So now, if you do any exercise that makes you feel less strong, do a cross crawl afterwards. So I want to see you do a cross crawl. It'll bring you back, so nobody has to energy test you. You can have, if you're feeling not up to par, do a cross crawl. All right, thank you.
That's
Healed.
amazing.
Yeah. Okay, come up here. His suggestion, you can manipulate exercises. If they aren't working for you, you can do them in another way. Do you know what a reverse jumping jack is? Let me see. I mean, okay, you normally go like this and like this when you do it. Okay, do it the opposite way. Put your legs out here with your hands down and then go like, is that right? Yeah, like this. And yeah. And, it feels a little klutzy, but watch. It makes your energies cross over. So if you can, yeah.
Teach the teams to do that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's interesting. There was one place where I was showing that. I don't remember if it was England or Australia, but wherever it was, that's exactly what they already did. So it's like they had an instinct or something about it. Okay, I'd like somebody to come up here whom I haven't done anything with yet. All right, Greg, all right, come on up. Now what I'd like you to do is sit down. Yeah. And just sit down, and I want you to start reading anywhere you want, but let this arm be free so I can test it as you're reading. Okay. So hold your arm strong and read out loud to the folks, okay?
Detecting the aura. The human aura has been scientifically investigated by Valerie Hunt, a neurophysiologist. Over a 20-year period,
you keep reading.
She conducted a series of meticulous studies at UCLA's Energy Fields Laboratory that compared aura reading with neurophysiological measures. The colors seen by 8 aura readers not only corresponded with one another, they correlated exactly with the electromyograph.
You wipe their energies out, every one of them. And that is precisely what happens if your teacher or the speaker has scrambled energy. They put it out to you in a scrambled manner, and your body does not want to, in its wisdom, even absorb scrambled energy. So it will either be stopping that energy from coming in, or if it doesn't stop it, then it will scramble your force fields, put you to sleep, check you out, and you're not going to learn it. So it really behooves the teacher, the presenter, to have their fields running very smoothly. So we're going to unscramble your force
Oh,
fields.
thank you.
Okay, now I want everybody to do this except for not you guys, okay? Because we're going to see if just his energy has an effect on you without you doing the exercise, okay? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to put your, clasp your hands together and see if your left thumb is on top or your right thumb is on top.
Left.
Left. And everybody who is doing this with us might find that out too. Clasp your hands together, although you guys in the front row are not going to be doing it. You can find out which thumb goes on top, though. You can do this part if you want. So if your left thumb is on top, put your left foot over your right knee. And take your right hand and put it around your ankle, and left hand around the bottom of your foot and your toes. Now, is anybody out there with your right thumb on top? You, okay. Put your right foot on top, left hand around your ankle, right hand around your bottom of your feet and your toes. I'm going to get to the other side because this is me. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in through our nose, and as you do that, you're going to kind of lift your body up and let your breath out and just relax, okay? So, do that 4 or 5 times. Go. You keep doing that while I tell you what you're doing. You're unscrambling force fields. This is such an extraordinary exercise to do when you're feeling scrambled or nuts, if you're losing it, if you're not grasping anything, or if you feel like you're going to fall apart, you're hysterical, you're so stressed to the max, you're just not getting through your day. So after 4, 5, 6 times, put your legs down and put your hands in a cathedral position and do the same breathing. All right, now we're going to pick up the book and you're going to try to read again. And I'm going to take this arm again and read anywhere you want, and I'm going to test you.
Of the many systems that sort people into one category or another, the 5 rhythms approach has the advantage of being grounded.
Okay, I want you to do it a little bit longer. I'm going to tell you why. I just tested him, and what I want him to be is like steel. And he isn't like steel. He's stronger, but I want him to do it a couple of times more, okay? Because I want him to be in great shape for the rest of this class.
Right.
So I want you to put your left foot over again. In fact, I want you to put your right foot over, okay? And put your left hand there and your right hand here, and breathe again, about 3 times. This is an indication just how much he needs it, okay? And I want to tell you that this is the first aid measure I use when I am really on the brink of hysteria. Because when I get too emotional, overwhelmed, can't win an argument with my husband, any of those things, I suddenly have my brain clear enough to be able to handle whatever is there. And I could have let this class go on, and he was strong enough. But since he already said that he was kind of depleted and not in great shape, he needs this even more so. So I would say do it a little bit longer if it doesn't give you all the benefit you need. Now put your leg down. And I'm going to just change it slightly from here. Take your left hand and turn it backwards. Take your right hand and put it over the top. Clasp your fingers and bring them up like this. And now breathe. You've seen little children do this. You've seen kids do this in bed. There's something very natural. If you feel like you're losing it at a business meeting, you could probably cross your ankles and do this if nobody cares. and you'll get away with bringing your energy back. Even if you don't breathe deep, it's going to help, Okay? Now, I can feel a difference. I can tell he is very strong. Now, I'm going to show you the difference now. Now, hold your arm up and read.
Of the many systems that sort people into one category or another,
He's very strong. I want you to keep reading. You don't have to have your arm up, but I'm going to test everyone as you read.
the 5 rhythms approach has the advantage of being grounded in the person's core bioenergies. At the same time, it tells you a great deal about that individual's health challenges, personality, and spiritual journey. When I look at a person's energy field...
And you healed them all this time.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if anybody heard it, but his voice was a little different, too. It's like it was a bit smoother, and you begin to hear those things, that a person sounds a bit different. One of the things that people have told me who started doing this a lot because they were trying to turn around a deep pattern of maybe being overly emotional all the time, really changing the pattern in their system, one of the things they tell me is they begin to talk slower and their voice drops an octave. So that's a good one for you. When we started that exercise, I asked everybody to clasp their fingers together and notice if their left thumb was on top or their right thumb. For most people, 9 out of 10 times, if your left thumb goes on top, it will work better if you put your left foot over your right knee. And for people whose right thumb goes on top, it works better for their right foot going on the left knee. But if you don't if you don't feel really like that made a difference when you do it, then I would use a little bit of the other side. It's like, whoa, there's an imbalance that's beyond whether your thumb is going on top or not, okay? So it does not hurt to do the other side. Some people do both sides. Most people find they just do one side and it's enough. But if you do not get full benefit, and you can feel it in your body, then do both sides. The other thing I'd like to say is that, especially if you're new to this, you may find that something doesn't last as long as you'd like, and you wonder, how long is this going to last? Which is often a question in classes. And I'd like to say that that's really individual. For some people, it lasts a very long time. For others, it's a much shorter time. But if you do the exercises, it will last longer for you. Your body will learn it like a habit. And pretty soon it'll kick in and you won't have to do the exercise. It's like your body, sometimes for me, for instance, that's an exercise I used to do a lot because I'm fairly dyslexic. And that particular exercise enabled me to be able to type or write or even talk clearly when I was very stressed. And if I did that exercise, suddenly I can type without misspelling words. But after a time, I noticed that I could go and type, and I wasn't needing to do that. And many, many people give me that same feedback, that if they do that exercise to overcome some particular imbalance in them, after a time, they don't have to do it so much. So that I do that now when I have really lost balance, but I don't need it as I once did. So the next 2 things, believe it or not, this only takes about 5 minutes to do. This is being stretched out because I'm teaching you right now, but you can do it fairly fast. Now, somebody else who's never had anything done to them, hop right up. All right. All right. Now, what's your name?
Randy.
Randy. Okay, Randy. One of the things that happens to us when we have a full, long day is sometimes our heads get clogged. And that's a part of not thinking well, but it's also, your head feels stuffed, like you wish you could clear it. Do you know what I mean? Yes? Okay. Now, I'm going to test you, okay? I want you to put your arm up like this, and I'm going to push straight down. All right. He's nice and strong, and I'm going to just tap on the side of his head here. And what that means is, now maybe just at the end of a stressful day, it may be that it's time for him to go to bed. It may be a lot of things, or it may be an accumulation of things. But he's not pumping up all his cerebrospinal fluid. Now, I'm going to show you something that's that just sort of clears the spaces so more fluid can come up. Okay, it's very simple. All I want you to do is, let's see, what's the best way? If you can take your fingers like this, put your pads of your fingers here, and just pull across your forehead, back to your temples, and then come up to your hairline and push in and pull your head apart. And everybody out there, you'll like doing it. Just push your head in and pull apart. It just makes space for energy to come in. And just go back to where your head turns to go down. And that's about enough. Now, there are other techniques you can use to pump up cerebrospinal fluid. But with you, I'm going to show you. What I'm doing is I'm tapping at his suture lines where it's meant to bring oxygen in. I'm not even going to where we pulled at the crown of his head. I'm going to the sides. And for sure, up on the top it will be. But it just makes space, and suddenly it's like tapping your own inner healer. Your body suddenly says, whoa, there's space, and it pumps up the fluid. So it's a very good thing to do. First, just to split your forehead like that, and then to push in at the crown of your head and pull it apart. And it's kind of like tapping your own inner healer. Your body knows what to do. It suddenly will start pumping up that fluid. Okay, and it's very good for you. By the way, they've done some research on this, and one of the things, some of the feedback is that people's memories get sharper by doing that. If you keep the fluid up into your brain, your memory works better. Okay? Now, I want to say that sometimes when you start moving energy around, and especially if you're not used to it, your energy might move to an area of your body and it will reveal where there's a block, so you might feel it. Now, Judy, is that Julie? All right. Julie just told me that that she was feeling something that she hadn't felt before she came up here. And what she was feeling is that her back was feeling, a little, like it hurt a little bit now. And the reason why is exactly why I just said, that you start moving energy and it'll move to an area where your energy isn't flowing as well. And on that particular energy test, it literally tests these huge muscles. Energy has to go through this part of your back. So if you have some vulnerability there, it may show up. So we're going to fix her right now. Come on up, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to therapy localize her so that without having to find all of the pain in her back, I can go down. I'm going to just touch on her spine. I'm just going to lay my hand in different places and test her. Okay, you hold your arm real strong. Weak, okay? I'm going to go down further. She's stronger there. A little weak. She's a little weak all the way down. She gets weaker down here. You can find very easily where somebody's off by just testing them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay her on her stomach with your head at this end. And there is something called a neurolymphatic flush. Sometimes it's called a spinal flush. But what you do is you just take either your middle fingers or your thumb, and you just travel straight down both sides of the spine to the tailbone, starting at the very bottom of the neck. And you just use your body weight and push in. That's how far it is. I mean, that's how deep you push. But it is kind of deep, isn't it, Julie? And what I'm doing is I'm clearing her lymphatic reflexes. And what that does is that makes the lymph begin to move. And getting the lymph moving is really good for your immune system and your energy. And sometimes this is, she's getting tight in here, but sometimes that's all you need to clear your energy. We're going to see just how much we get moving on her. I'm going to go down twice because it felt like she could use this. But this is an excellent thing to do. My husband calls this the up against the wall points. You know, you really need something. You can just lean up against the wall and have your partner come along and just massage these points and clear out an awful lot of toxins. And it'll keep going after the person gets up. It's not completed there. It will continue to move because we've got the lymph moving. It's like tapping your own inner healer. Okay? Now, I want you to get up off the table, move a little slow. Sometimes it can make you feel a little wobbly. All right, first, let us know, do you feel any better?
Yes.
Yes, okay, you don't have to just say that. But yeah, okay. So now I'm going to test you. Okay, you hold your arm up, and now if we hit a place that she isn't strong, I'm going to just go to that one particular place. But we got the energy moving up and down, and so it'll continue to happen. It isn't just when you were on the table. Your energy's moving now, so it should feel better and better.
Thank you.
Aha, you're welcome. Yeah, the question is, do I always start at the top and go down? Usually I do, but periodically it does not hurt to go the other way. But for most people, because the energy rises and they get further and further away from being grounded here on planet Earth, and their polarities get thrown, it usually works for most people to go down instead of up. All right, if you do not have a partner, first of all, I would suggest, there are some places you can learn to reach around to. You can take your own fingers back here at the top and just massage back as far as you possibly can. You can go to some health stores, and they have these, I can't remember what they're called, but they're an instrument that comes up, bends around, and comes around to your back, and you can pull on it and go all the way down your back. You can do that. You can bend over and get as high up as you can. But if you can't reach the part of your body that you need to reach, then do the front of your body. It will eventually start the lymph flowing in the back of your body. So I'm going to have everybody out there do it with me, okay? Let's start right here. These are heart points. It's just underneath the clavicle out from K27. Notice when you have tenderness. If you hurt, you need it. Nobody needs to test you. And then come out a little bit further for governing and massage there. Governing governs your spine. And now the next point. So I'm staying about, 10, 12, 15 seconds on each one. You can do it more or less. The next one is right where you would stitch if you had to sew your arm to your body, okay? And what you do is take one hand, reach it across your body, and massage in that groove. And if you're thinking that you're not feeling anything, you're probably not doing it hard enough because these are doozies, even if you do it to yourself. And these are extraordinary points. If you're really stressed out, these are amazing points that can help clear the stress. And these are main points in the body, right here, that clear stress out of the body and affect all the other lymphatics. Now the next, just go straight down your sternum and massage right on the top of your sternum itself. And notice if you've got any tenderness. And it can make you cough. It really can, because it governs the lungs, okay? The next points just go in between all the ribs on the side of the sternum, and you are massaging neurolymphatic points to your lungs and gallbladder. And notice again, notice when they hurt. All right, the next points are underneath both breasts. It's like a half moon under each side. You can do it one at a time or both at the same time, but you can massage right underneath. And again, if you for some people, you might get better leverage if you use your thumbs. And notice if you have any tenderness there. I do. Okay, now the next, and breathe, folks, breathe. The next points are cup your fingers and start underneath the rib cage and just push in and massage all the way down. And notice if you have any tenderness there. And that opens up your small intestine. The next points, about an inch above and an inch to the side of your belly button, are points to your kidneys. And then drop right down an inch to each side is triple warmer. Okay, now just drop straight down, just right up above your pubic bone is bladder. And it's just right on the top of the bone. Yes, hurt a little? Yes. Okay, shake your hands off every now and then. Now on the side of your legs, all right? Just, well, if any of you have pants on, it's right where it would stitch on the sides of your legs. And it goes from right at the top of your legs all the way down to your knees. And again, if you're not feeling any pain at all, you might want to come up here and see if I can find it for you, because they tend to hurt. Again, maybe your thumbs will, these are to your large intestine, and if you have any digestive problems, these are really good ones. And if you do these daily, if you massage your lymphatics, it's like clearing your body of so much debris, so much toxins, and getting your lymph moving, that after a while you'll feel better and better and better. I've had people tell me who've done this for many, many, many days on end that after a time it begins to feel like they get on a fasting high. So the last ones I want to tell you about are lay your hands on the front of your legs and push your thumbs in to the inside. And notice what happens there. Those are small intestine points. Okay? All right, shake your hands off. All right, and that's it. This one, by the way, any one of these 6 things that I'm showing, you can do them separate from any of the others. They don't have to be all together. But if you learn them all, your body's going to get a feel for which ones you need more. And many of you will want to do them all. If you do them all, your body will really learn how to balance itself out by itself. This one is critical. It's really good. We have a meridian that runs from the pubic bone up to the bottom lip, like that. I think of it as a zipper. And if you keep yourself zipped up, your energy up, you are up. Your energies are up. You're not as vulnerable to other people's energies. You're not as affected. Your self-esteem works better. You just feel confident and good. But if you ever have that feeling that you just want to go sit in the corner when you've walked into a group of people, what happened to you is the energy on this meridian it's like you unzipped all the way down, and all of your chakras are exposed and everything feels vulnerable. Everybody know what that feels like? You ever have that experience? Okay, so I'm going to show you something very interesting. I'm going to test a different meridian altogether, because this one is tests central meridian. So I want you to hold your hand out, and I'm going to push down towards the middle of your body, okay? And we got to get you strong to begin with. Oops, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just work your lymphatics a little bit right up here, because it goes to that meridian, and they tend to hurt when you really need it. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, now hold your arm, and you push against me as I push down. Okay, that's good. Now, I'm going to show you something, and we'll fix her afterwards, so nobody worry about her too much. But what I'd like you to do is, I'll just show you something. I'm just going to, okay, let me make sure you're nice and strong. Okay, you push against me. Okay, now I'm going to do something, all right? I just did it. Now you hold again, push with all your might. You notice you lost your energy. All I did was look her down. And this is the meridian that is affected by other people, what they're thinking, what they're going through, how you pick up stuff from people as you go through your day, Or it also deals with your own vulnerabilities of just what you're thinking and what you're going through. If you've had a bad dream or any of those things can affect this meridian. But it also deals with hypnosis. So this is a meridian that you can use your own mind to affect, okay? Now I'm going to show you something else. I'm not going to tell you what I do, but I'm going to do it. Now you hold your arm again and you push against me. All I did was look her up that time, and that gives her energy. Now I'm going to show you that it has nothing to do with anything about her strength or her weakness or anything like that. Nothing to do with anything in her character. I want you to close your eyes and not know what we're doing. And what I'm going to do, you keep your eyes shut, and if I go like this, I want you to look her down from her bottom of her lips to her pubic bone. If I go like this, I want you to look her up, okay? And don't you try to guess. You be thinking of anything you want, but don't be thinking about this so you're not guessing, okay? Because the mind does affect this one. Okay, so just think of, I don't know, school or anything, okay? Something unstressful. Okay. You push against me. You see, it has nothing to do with her, even her involvement with you. It's this energy. No man is an island. We are all involved with one another, for good or for bad. We're in it together. And if you can remain very involved with people, and in fact, even more so if you keep yourself zipped up. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine you have a zipper here and zip yourself up with your mind or with your hand, either way. And because it deals with self-hypnosis or hypnosis of any kind, pretend you have a lock and key and that you're locking it and nobody can unlock it, okay? All right. Now, close your eyes again. You don't know what we're doing, but, and the only thing the audience doesn't know is you don't know she's got a lock and key, so you can't try to unlock her, but you can, if I go up, look her up. If I go down, look her down. She kept herself very strong when we looked her down. That's very good, thank you. That's really invaluable to know. If you find that you're losing your energy through the day by just having to work with a lot of people and some of them throw your energies off, keep yourself zipped up and locked. I have a private practice, and if I've worked with a lot of people with a lot of different problems and I feel like maybe I've taken on a little bit too much, between people, I will stop. At first, I will actually unzip myself and let energy out. I'll just take it down and blow out a little bit. And then I'll zip myself up and I'll lock it, and I won't have that problem. Okay, that was the daily energy routine. And again, if you do it quickly and if you learn it, it really only takes about 5 minutes. So, all right. This is a review of the daily energy routine that I hope you'll do every day so that you really come to know it and become very familiar. But in the beginning, you want to do the 3 thumps. And again, you can massage this if these points if they're more comfortable to you. But to either thump them, tap them, or massage them. Here's K27. Here's the thymus gland. And here are the spleen points. And breathe deeply as you do them. The next energy exercise to do is the cross crawl to make sure that your energies are crossing over. It's just an exaggerated march. You can hit the opposite knee like this, or just really swing your arms in this fashion. But do it long enough, say 20 times perhaps, something like that, so that your energy begins to feel like it really has crossed over. Do that enough, and your body will begin to retain the crossover energy more and more. All right, the next energy exercise is the Wayne Cook posture. And again, you sit down, And you clasp your hands together and notice if your left thumb or your right thumb is on top. If your left thumb is on top, put your left foot over your right knee, your right hand around your left ankle, and your left hand around the bottom of your feet and your toes. If your right thumb is on top, reverse it. Put your right foot over your left knee, your left hand around your ankle, your right hand around the bottom of your feet and your toes. And you take very deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth about 6 times. And as you do it, you lift your body and lift your legs. You go. Then you put your legs down and put your fingertips together and do the same breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. I want to show a quick variation in case you're in a situation where you, or a circumstance in your own health where you cannot do that. If you cannot put your body into those positions, just cross your ankles and take your left hand, put it out in front of you, put the back of your wrist in towards your center, take your right hand, cross it over, and then clasp your fingers together. Pull your hands up underneath and do deep breathing in this manner. So if you find you cannot do the other, do this particular method and it will most definitely benefit you. At least 6 breaths. Now, the next thing to do is the crown pull. And this is the manner in which you do that. You take your fingers and place them on your forehead and press in and pull your forehead apart so you can really feel the tension leaving is what you feel. And then take your fingers and sort of put them in curled finger position. Put your baby finger at the hairline and your other fingers going back over your head. Push in and pull apart. And go back over the top of your head. Push in and pull apart. Continue back over your head. Push in and pull apart. And push in and pull apart. Okay? Now here is a review of the neurolymphatics. If you have a partner, you can do the points along the back as was shown in the class. If you do not have a partner, you'll do just fine doing your own. So we start with right up here beneath the clavicle, massaging heart. And move out another inch and massage governing. And then take your hand over and massage in between that groove between the arm and the body. Take your other hand and massage in between the groove between your arm and body on the other side. Now you're going to massage right down the middle of your sternum, right down your chest bone. And when you're through with that, come right back up to the sides of the sternum and massage in between the ribs. And you're massaging lungs and gallbladder now. Drop to beneath the breasts, and there's a half moon on both sides, and you can start at the outside and just massage and come towards the inside of your body underneath the breasts. Now cup your fingers and start at the inside at the bottom of the rib cage and really massage small circles all the way down to the bottom of the rib cage, which is small intestine lymphatics. The next points are you just come in between where you just massaged and where the bottom of the bra line, there is a point right in between those two places where you can massage right here. And that is spleen meridian. Now, shake your hands off every now and then and come 1 inch above the belly button and 1 inch to the side and massage right there. That is triple warmer meridian. Drop down 1 inch to beside the belly button, and that is kidney meridian. Now, continue to drop down till you're at the top of the pubic bone and massage at the very top, and that is bladder meridian. Now, put your hands to your hips and just travel down the sides of your legs for large intestine meridian. And you should feel some tenderness there if you're doing it right. Now massage the inside of the legs, and it is small intestine meridian. Those are the lymphatics. The very last part of the energy routine is to place your hands at your pubic bone and imagine you have a zipper and literally zip that energy all the way up to the bottom lip and lock it when you get there. So again, there are 6 steps in the daily energy routine. The 3 thumps, K27, thymus and the spleen points, the cross crawl, the Wayne Cook posture, the crown pull, the neurolymphatic flush, and the zip up.